Global depletion of land encompasses a number of areas, but I think it's important to spend a minute or so on how our food choices are affecting biodiversity. Plants, animals, insects. We're losing other species on Earth at an unprecedented rate, with such a loss of biodiversity that we're finding ourselves in another era of large-scale extinction. But the previous 5 extinctions, well, they were caused by natural phenomena, whereas this one we're creating. And the question is, why? And there are a few primary reasons. Unprincipled or poorly planned urban sprawl and pollution are certainly major factors, but so is something else. The World Conservation Union reported last year that most of the world's endangered or threatened species on their red list are suffering habitat loss due to livestock. Again, we want to make sure we get our words correct, not due to agriculture, due to livestock. And the situation is just as severe in our oceans. One animal extinction every 4 years used to be the norm. Today, we're witnessing over 30,000 animal extinctions each year. By the time today's over, just one day, there'll be another 82 animal species gone with it forever. The jaguar, very endangered due to loss of its habitat over the years, the unnecessary clearing of tropical rainforests to support cattle. Closer to home, there's the red wolf, declared extinct in 1980 due to hunting and loss of its habitat in order to raise livestock. But let's make sure we really all understand what's happening here, though. I'm going to summarize for you the loss of all predators on land over the last 100 years. I'm going to give you a recipe for how this happens. So are we all ready? We'll say you're ready. Good. Okay, step number 1, we first take away their land. And we take away all the species that they prey on by clearing forests. Then step number 2, we dangle livestock in front of them, sort of come and get it style, the few predators that are left. And step number 3 is we shoot them. Yeah, we shoot them because, well, they're interfering with our livestock operations, and we can't have that. And that's pretty much the pattern of extinction of most species on land. There are not too many other valid ways to interpret it. The most recent convention on biological diversity was held in Nagoya, Japan last October as a follow-up to the one held in 2002. And here are the findings of the world's leading scientists, authorities, and policymakers on this subject. First, they found that none of their previous goals from 2002 were met. None of them, not one of them. So here's what they came up with for a new game plan. This is straight from Nagoya. I get to share my disappointment with you. They agreed to protect 17% of the remaining land in the world. So let's see now. We know that livestock are using a little less than 40% of the entire landmass on Earth. So their thought in Nagoya was leave all that alone, of course, and protect 17% of what's left over for the other millions and millions of species of living things. Okay, so that seems pretty good, and they weren't done yet, so they agreed to protect 10% of our oceans by the year 2020. Now, think about that. Not too hard. 9 years from now, we can all look forward to having 10% of our oceans protected. And also, there were no political and there were no economic motives established, and nations are allowed to police themselves. So is there any wonder why they're not making any progress there? Nearly all concerned researchers agree that the primary causes of rapid biodiversity loss that we're witnessing on our planet today is by pastured or grazing livestock on land, loss of habitat, and by unsustainable fishing practices in our oceans. And yet nowhere in the resolution adopted by 196 countries is exact wording to effectively address this.